So I don't want to shoot my own horn, but we're fixing horns. Okay, so this week's episode we're fixing the horns in the Corrado. The car drives and runs perfectly, so I'm delighted with that. What I have found is if the car idles with no revs and you press the horn, the car conks out. And I didn't know why. So I tried to look it up online and asked a few people, and no one seemed to really understand what I meant or why it happened. My guess is the horns suck so much current out of the car. There's not enough capacity in the battery to keep the ECU and the spark and everything lit. And with very low revs, the alternator isn't generating current or power to keep the batteries topped up. So I've asked, and yeah, horns, they just start working. And one of my horns is a brrr, kind of that kind of noise, and then the other one is kind of a more peppy beep. They sometimes work and sometimes don't. So if you wanted to beep the horn, you might have to beep the horn twice or three times before they'd kind of like, okay, we're going to work this time. I'm going to show it in a video, and hopefully it'll give you a demonstration of what is actually happening. And you can hear what it sounds like, and it might and mightn't cut the engine out, but that's what's happening. So I've gotten another set of horns. I ordered horns off eBay. They came within a week. I was delighted with that. I forgot that the horns I ordered were just a bog standard spurious horn. They do have a trumpet like these. I forgot that they didn't come with one of these connections, so I'd have to kind of cut the lumen and solder on spades. So I got these out of a secondhand. These are secondhand horns. I'm gonna give these a test to see if these work any better than the ones I currently have. So I'll just show you the ones I currently have in the car. So this is what I currently have in the car. These are the two horns, and right up there is where they're bolted to the car, so they would sit, I think, flip around or something like that. Basically, it looks like a boomerang. I think the boomerang points towards the wing and the two horns point forward, so I think that's upside down at the moment. And when I went to take out the nut, I managed to snap it in half. So I don't know where the top half is that I snapped off, but this is what got left behind. And I hate rung bolts. They're a pain to deal with. My original idea was to try drill it, and the drill bit slipped sideways without me knowing. And if I kept going, I would have gone into the treads and just basically damaged the whole thing. So the easiest thing was to, again, take the blowtorch, warm everything up good and hot, put a vice grip. Thankfully there was enough sticking out the top. I got a vice grip onto it, gave it a few turns, and you could hear it fairly rusted, like, and eventually it did start to come out. So thankfully I got it out in one piece, and it's just a standard tread up there. So I have a new nut. It was just one that was lying around. It's going to go up there and it's going to hold up everything. So that's the horn it's going over. So I'm going to show a video now of the car running, and it'll probably conk out once I turn on the horns. Okay, so I have the car running. I'm going to press the horn. I don't know whether it's coming through in the video, but the horn that's down there is currently making a noise, but there's no noise coming out of it. And okay, so I now have it worked out that the one with a little bit of green mold on it, I suppose, that one works. This one back here 100% does not work at all. So these are two new horns, well, two new second-hand horns that I got. The reason why I want one definitely not working is, so there's two cables coming down, so that means that it takes a lot of power to run a horn. So power comes in, I'm dividing the current in half for both horns, because both horns are getting powered from the same point. So if I have one horn that definitely doesn't work, but it's just there just to keep the connectors clean, because I don't want water or dirt going into them, and if I ever go back to wanting dual horns, I can just take off this one, take off the bad horn, and just swap them across. This one definitely does work, so it's going to get full power rather than half of the power, and that's why I know that the horn definitely does work. Like any other car normally will have a single horn. I know most of the Volkswagens do like having dual horns, but I'm quite happy having a single horn. Once it passes the road test, I'm happy. Okay, so that's the two horns now remounted. Again, this one is the one that doesn't work. It's just a dummy one to keep the connections correct or nice and clean. This is the one that actually does work. So I'm going to go up now and give it a test. Okay, so this is the car now running with the new horn. I press the button. And the car doesn't conk out, so very happy with that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.